Hello everyone. So I'm going to show you something that I thought was just unreal. So as you can see, I got preview opened up and I'm going to go all the way to the front. Now I've shot all these pictures with my Leica SL2-S. It's a 24.5 megapixel camera. I'm going to do a primes first, and what I'm going to do is a slideshow, and you tell me if you like it. And hopefully you don't see my mouse. So these are different pictures. I had the, let's see, the 65 millimeter Sigma f2, I believe. I had the Voigtlander 75 millimeter, which is an M mount. I had the Panasonic 85 millimeter at f2.8 and 1.8, and that lens was just fantastic. In fact, that was the biggest lens that I had out of all this. I did use the 90 millimeter Sigma 2, but I had a little trouble with focusing on that because if the dog was away from me when I was taking the picture, it didn't know what it was. The cat mainly looks at me, but look how sharp these pictures are. So they're not all Leica lenses. They're Sigma and they're Panasonic, and they work on this camera. So why do I like this camera better than, let's say, the S5-2X? Simple reason, it's easier to manage, less options in the menu, and I just hit the joystick and back for back focus picture taken, or autofocus, I mean, and it was quick. It was unreal. Now I was trying the S5 II, yes, but when I hit the autofocus, I didn't know if it was in focus or not. I did have it automatically, but sometimes it hit, sometimes it didn't. This one will let you know if you're too close or too back. So it has a white cross. I have the focus point pointed, the small one. And when I hit the back button, if it's in focus, it's in green. If not, it's in red. That's how easy it was. So I just hit kind of like the joystick to clear the area compensation. Hit it again, and it was in focus. This one I was going on the leaf, right in between the two flowers. And I've taken a couple of pictures of this pot with different lenses. I try each lens to see how close I can get to an object. And you can see, am I close to that tree or am I across the yard taking pictures? So that gives you kind of a hint if I was using 90 millimeter or 85 millimeter. So the lenses I used was the 65 millimeter, which is a 2, I believe. The 75 millimeter, which was a 1.8. The 85 millimeter, which was a 1.8, but I did it at 2.8 also. And then the 90 millimeter, which was, I think, an f2.8. Excellent pictures. Some were out of focus, and this was basic. I want to say the 90 millimeter, but it could have been the 65 millimeter too. I had auto ISO, but look how sharp the pictures are. It's unreal. I just couldn't stop shooting pictures. Just one right after the other with each different lens. And I got a secret weapon also. So with all the primes, I also used the Leica 24-70 zoom at f2.8. And I had it at 65 millimeter and 70 millimeter. Now I know this is kind of long-winded. I got the pictures scrolling as fast as possible. Looks like everything is working fine. These are all JPEGs, by the way. They're not RAW files. So apparently Preview has a problem with RAW files, especially if I do it by tall, portrait style instead of landscape, like I did with most of these pictures. You'll see some that I did in portrait mode, and they're fantastic. These lenses can get close. I had a little difficulty with the 90 millimeter and the 65 millimeter, but about, let's say, 2 feet away, maybe a foot away. I do have a Carl Zeiss lens that I can put on this camera, and it is a macro, and it takes wonderful pictures. So you can see the yard is really grown with all the rain. The grass is filling in. I got some weeds. I should put weed killer on there. And I need to chop down those trees that are growing back. I'm not playing any music with this. I'm just trying to describe the pictures. They do repeat themselves, but you can see where each lens I try different, see how close I can get to. And I think this is the closest I can get to that flower. So the sun went down, it rolls up, and it's like that for all night. And then early in the morning, it blooms. But you can see how close I got to some plants which look beautiful in the backyard. I don't know what they are. So the ones I like, I don't chop down. Ones, and then you know what to do with the ones that I don't like. Now I just cut the grass about 3 days ago, and it's growing pretty fast. I didn't cut it low. And you can see where some of the branches, with all the light being blocked, the bottom branches don't have any leaves. I just want to show you the scale of the roof. My crepe myrtle back there hasn't bloomed yet. Usually it does it in May or June. And look at this snail climbing up my house. And they just stay there for a while. So I'll go here. I will go back to home. No, won't allow me. Yeah, gotta keep going like this. So I'm gonna go all the way to the front. And I took a lot of pictures, folks. 108 of them, okay? And I'm gonna make them larger. And I'm gonna do a Command I. And what I want you to look at is it's kind of like 6K format, okay? JPEG. But this is the lens specification. So the only manual lens I have, this one right here, and actually it's a Voigtlander, but I put the 2.0 on here when mine is actually a 1.8. And I think that's what it means is 2x2. It's just guessing, okay? But this is at 75 millimeters. And as I scroll down the pictures, you can see when I change the lens. So I'll keep my mouse cursor right there. You can see the cross, okay? But look how sharp I can get a manual lens. That's 90 millimeter, okay? So here's a 90 millimeter. But it says it's supposed to be at f2.8. I think I was shooting it at 3. I don't know. There's the 85 millimeter. All right. And it's at an 2.8. So this was the lens I got messed up on. But look at that. I mean, that's in clear. The bike in the front of the mirror, and then the mirror was in sharp. So I did little stuff like that. There's the bees we got in New Orleans and the Eiffel Tower. This is a shoe polisher. Look how sharp it is. I love the 85 millimeter. And this is now at 1.8. So you can see how sharp. See, I'm not going to do any magnification. You can see how sharp the pictures are. So now I'm in the 90 millimeter again. So I messed up. And it's at 2.8. But I wanted to do this snail to see how close I could get. So you can see where I hit and miss now and then. But basically it was sharp too. This is the autofocus lens, and I could get it pretty close. I was looking at the Summicron 90 millimeter manual, and that's about almost $2,800 that they have used. It's a good price for the lens, but look at this 90 millimeter. I mean, it may not be the best. It misses now and then on the focusing, but then it gets it just right. So I took my time with the 75 millimeter, but you see, with the 90 millimeter, you can do almost a macro. And sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. And my cat is just chilling. So you see, the 90 millimeter is the one that gave me the most difficulty. I had trouble with my black dog. That's why I shoot a lot of Wanda. But plants and stuff, no problem. The only time it gave me a problem also is if I got a little bit too close and I had to back up a little bit. But look at it, his pictures are beautiful. Now, I tried the 65 millimeter because basically it was, the theme was compare a manual lens to an autofocusing lens. Okay, so this is an autofocus lens, 65 millimeter. I love this focal range too. I got the 50 millimeter f1.8 from Panasonic, and then I got the 35 millimeter f2 from Sigma, and the 24 millimeter from Sigma, which is a 1.4. So I love the lenses I have now. All the focal range is taken care of. I got the 24-70 zoom from Leica and the 90-280 telephoto. And from Sigma, I got the 150-600. So I got my lens coverage pretty much. I got 3 cameras in the L-mount system. I do have a Leica Q3, which I love, the 60 megapixel camera. But look at that. Look how sharp these pictures are. Took a lot of pictures of the 65 millimeter. Now, this is the zoom lens. Probably at 65. Yeah, well, 60. So this is what you're looking at. So I was trying to do the 65, match it, compare to 65 and 75, but it only goes up to 70. But I want you to look at something. These are sharp. These are at f2.8. Unbelievable. So you can see, what is it? Look how close I can get. Isn't that something? That's with this lens. And this is at 70 millimeter. This was at 60. I thought it was 65, but it was actually 60. So here's at 70 millimeter. That's the close-up. But I love it is where, even on this lens, how it kind of one's behind it and to the sides just roll off and focus, and it kind of blurs. It's a wonderful lens. So instead of carrying primes, you just carry the 24-70 with you and you'd be happy. I was thinking of the 90-280 is heavy, so is the 150-600. So I don't have anything less than 24. That's why I was thinking of the 18 millimeter. No, I take that back. I do have the 14-24. So I got that covered too. Or 14-28. And that's the Panasonic lens. I was pleasantly surprised with that too. So I know this is long-winded. I'm just wanted to show you that a zoom is just as good. And I'll just get rid of that. Okay. And this is as close as I could get to the snail. And that's with the zoom lens at 70 millimeter. And that's it. End of the show. I just want to show you that you can do things. And thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe. Keep smiling. And until next time, I shall see you then. Good night, folks. Have a wonderful day.